Hey techies! Today we're going to be talking about the 3 basic building blocks that you need in your love story or romantic subplot. I'm Jane and this is Fiction Technician. So we're going to be getting after this with a little help from a book called Save the Cat Goes to the Movies by Blake Snyder. In it, he breaks all movies down into 10 genres or archetypes, and one of these is called buddy love. It comprises not only strictly romantic stories, but also buddy flicks like Rush Hour or Rain Man, because the human impulses in these stories are the same. In both cases, they're about 2 people who start out in conflict and discover that they are better together. According to this book, there are 3 things you need for such a love story. You need an incomplete hero, somebody who is missing something crucial in their lives. You need a counterpart, somebody who can provide them with that missing piece. And you need a complication, something that is keeping these 2 apart. Let's see how these 3 elements break down in one of my favorite movies, Forrest Gump. Jenny is our incomplete hero in Forrest Gump. She isn't the protagonist, but that's okay. Your incomplete hero can be the protagonist, his love interest, or both of them. In this case, we know it's Jenny because Jenny is suffering. After a childhood of abuse, Jenny is mired in self-destructive tendencies and makes bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. Forrest is her counterpart because he provides the one thing Jenny needs and can never give herself, which is total love and acceptance.
Why are you so good to me?
You're my girl.
And the complication keeping them apart is Forrest's mental incapacity, which, despite the wisdom of this line,
I'm as stupid as stupid does,
does make him a strange romantic partner for Jenny to choose. But when the chips are down and Jenny is dying, she turns toward the one person who has always truly loved her, and that's Forrest. Forrest is happy and Jenny is finally at peace. Acceptance is a common need for characters in romantic stories. In addition to Jenny, some other characters who experience this are the protagonist of Good Will Hunting, who managed to get acceptance from his psychologist,
It's not your fault.
and the protagonist of Bridget Jones's Diary, who is socially awkward and spends the first half of the movie pretending to be breezy and put together so she can keep the affection of the wrong guy. Once she meets the right guy, this is what he has to say to her.
I like you very much, just as you are.
In addition to acceptance, some common needs for incomplete heroes are a certain callousness, a lack of being open to human connection, like Richard Gere in Pretty Woman or Tom Cruise in Rain Man. Or a certain quiet joylessness to one's life, like Pam in The Office before she got together with Jim, or Ben Stiller's character in Along Came Polly. Alright, let's look at how the 3 elements play out in a subplot. The Bourne Identity is primarily an action-adventure flick, but there's a strong romantic subplot. Our hero, Jason Bourne, is again an incomplete hero. He is literally incomplete because his memory is missing, but also emotionally incomplete because he doesn't know whether he's a good man.
Who has a safety deposit box full of money and 6 passports and a gun?
Enter Marie, his counterpart, a woman who is willing to believe in his goodness and stand by him. The complication involves a lot of bullets and danger, but in the end, love and Jason's need for completeness triumph. We could look at how these elements play out in a buddy film, but I think you get the idea by now. In this kind of story archetype, these 3 elements are always going to be present. If all of this is making sense, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. And then let's talk some more about complications. So when you go to design a complication to keep your lovers apart, what are you looking for? Well, anything goes. It can be anything from he's a superhero to she's dying. But some of the common complications are forbidden love. This is the love Jack and Rose experience in Titanic because they come from very different social classes. And it's the love that Ennis and Jack experience in Brokeback Mountain because their cowboy culture will not permit their love to exist. Lies. In many of these stories, these characters start out their relationship with a lie. For example, in Passengers, Jim awakens Aurora from hypersleep, dooming her to live out the rest of her life on a spaceship. He can't really tell her this, and this is the complication that keeps their relationship from reaching a true resolution until near the end. Or in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or Less, she has a magazine assignment requiring her to lose a boyfriend, and he has a bet requiring him to keep a girlfriend. So neither of the characters is able to act naturally with the other. And opposing team complications. In You've Got Mail, she's small business, he's big business. And in 2 Weeks' Notice, she's left wing, he's right wing. These kind of stories are rarely about one partner winning the other over to their team. They're more about the partners accepting each other for who they are. If you're writing a series, you can stick with one complication, or you can have an evolving series of complications that keep your characters apart. In Downton Abbey, Mary and Matthew are kept apart by an opposing team complication, some other possible romantic partners, and an entire world war. But eventually they wind up together. Even after a relationship is brought to its conclusion, you can continue to lob complications at your characters to threaten the relationship or just to give it a little sizzle. Next week, I'm wrapping up my series on Save the Cat with a video on the Why Done It genre. For great tips on story structure every week, you know what to do. Just hit that red subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Check out.